Welcome back to the PPA Takeya showcase in beautiful Newport Beach, California. It's singles day right now, and we've had some incredible first and second round matches. Next up, we have Ben Johns and Dylan Frazier coming up on center court. Should be a good one. Ben Johns played up against Connor Garnett in the previous round, an up-and-coming player, which in an unbelievable match. And we are excited to get this one underway here in a few minutes. Thanks for joining us here at the Takeya Showcase. We start this matchup here pretty soon. There it is. You see Ben Johns, the #1 seed, going up against Dylan Frazier, the #8 seed. Two guys who are frankly pretty used to being late in draws. We're going to see them in the quarterfinals here. Both have been in finals matches plenty of times this year across the tour. This should be a good match. I'm Kyle Kazuda. I'm joined by Dave Fleming. Dave, this could be a good one.
Well, you look at the draw when it starts and you're like, huh, the 1-8, if they both get there, and obviously Ben Johns stared down 2 game points against in game 1 and game 2 against Connor Garnett, but was able to get through that. Dylan Frazier, let's rewind all the way back to the beginning of the year, beat Ben Johns in the first tournament of the year in singles, and everybody's like, what happened in Arizona here?
Yeah, in fact, that was actually the first tournament, Dave, the first PPA tournament I had been to, and I was walking around the venue, and people were like, did you see? Did you see? I'm like, what are you talking about? I was like, Dylan just beat Ben. And so that was one of my first experiences watching Dylan play. As I mentioned earlier, Dylan is no stranger to big matches, late in tournaments. And if Dylan wins this match, I don't know if it's an upset. I mean, Dylan is so good. He's beaten so many top players. I'm excited to see this one get started.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I think the seeds and the history would say it's an upset, but it has already happened this year. So the other difference with Dylan Frazier from that match to today, paddle change.
Yeah, Dylan Frazier's been just recently signed with Selkirk, and last I saw, we'll see if he's still using it today, I was using the 002 paddle, the same one that we just saw Big E Markowitz using, which you're seeing a lot of singles players use that paddle because of the spin it can generate and the power it gets.
Yeah, and you've got to be able to win from the baseline, and you will see some players, not all, switch paddles between singles and doubles, or at least the way they let it up, or what I mean by that is what they add to the actual paddle itself, just to put a little more behind it, because you got to be able to drive through the ball more often. So for those who haven't seen what this could look like, what do you expect to see from Dylan Frazier? How do you think he plays against Ben Johns today?
What these two players do more than most players in pickleball is they do drop their third shot and get to the kitchen. And so one of the things I'm going to expect to see is some good points around the net. I think we're going to see drives, of course, passing shots, of course. But the thing that I'm most interested in seeing is what they do around the kitchen when they're both up there. I think those are going to be some of the most exciting points that we see. We could even occasionally see a couple hands battles, which you don't often see in singles.
We've also got a Maryland versus Missouri battle here. Dylan Frazier's a student at Missouri now, and he's out here, and you see those guys just off to the side. Ben just graduated from Maryland, so he's a Terp. He's got his engineering degree. It's awesome to see how these guys are able to sort of manage their lives around school, around being a pro athlete. It's really fascinating.
Absolutely.
The other thing that you're going to see from Dylan Frazier is this is the only moment in time when that paddle isn't spinning 1,000 miles an hour, 1,000. There he goes. He can't help himself, folks. He just can't. It's like
I think he may lead. He's probably top 5 in paddle spins before serve happens.
Oh, he's #1. You know, he's #1, and it's not even close.
I was trying to think about him versus Anna Bright, who
Bright is a runner-up.
She averages like 10 to 12 paddle spins before every serve. Dylan has even been known, there he goes right there, been known to spin the paddle occasionally in doubles in the middle of a point.
For sure. And it's just, it's a mechanism. Everybody's got some. You see Leah Jansen go through her pre-point thing. Paris Todd will face away. Just everybody's got whatever it is. Some people won't step on the line.
Yeah.
Some of it's superstitious.
Yeah.
Some of it's just getting yourself mentally ingrained into what you want to do. But I think the other thing that's very interesting about Dylan Frazier is we talk about all these guys with the big tennis background. This is not the case with him.
Well, Dave, people say Dylan Frazier doesn't have a racket sport background, but I think he's 20 years old right now, maybe 21. He's been playing pickleball for a long time. Pickleball is his racket sport background. So it's like he's not like these. It's not like a Connor Garnett who just came in, right? But listen, Dylan Frazier's been playing pickleball a long time. He's got plenty of racket experience.
So I think the point you make is a good one. Is everybody's like, oh, let me thumb through the resume here and see where the tennis is. Well, Wyatt Stone, maybe a little tennis, but guess what? He's been playing pickleball for a while, as an example, and certainly Dylan Frazier is too. And it's going to be, as this sport explodes, we talked about the unification with MLP and Duper and all of that. This is what kids are going to have, and who knows when intramurals becomes high school pickleball teams and college. There's a lot of college club pickleball going on right now across this great country. So the background, the top players in some time from now is going to be just pickleball.
100%. And while having a tennis background gives you an advantage and you can often learn faster, having a starting in pickleball, you don't have to unlearn those habits that you learned in tennis, which in doubles especially, you have to unlearn some habits from being in a tennis background to going into pickleball. And as you watch Dylan Frazier, you're going to see him do some things here in singles that are impressive. He has some interesting flicks that he'll do, some interesting deception that he'll use. And he's one of the most fun players to watch because of those things that he probably learned from a young age.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? I've been comfortable with the kitchen since I was 4 years old, whereas these tennis people are losing their minds. So I think that is the case. And the other thing I think the paddle change has done for Frazier is it's made him much more dangerous off the bounce.
Yeah.
And when they're in these battles that we know we're going to have some fun cat and mouse points, which we mean two guys sort of mano a mano at the kitchen finding angles. He has a little more on those and can also hit through the court from the baseline. So, all right, this is going to be a good one. Dylan Frazier to serve. Let's play pickleball.
Point.
And right off the bat, we get exactly what we thought we'd see, which is kitchen battle.
1-0.
Yeah.
Shows right, execution hits the tape slightly. But what you're going to see a lot from both these players, we're already seeing it right now, obviously, is the cat and mouse, what you just mentioned. But when they're retreating or recovering, they're going to drop the ball to reset themselves. We saw Dylan Frazier do it just now. We're going to see it all match long.
Point.
Just deep on that, and the nice inside-out forehand drive from Ben Johns gets him on the board.
1-1. Point.
Two forehand winners in a row. Let's see if Frazier continues to return to that side or not.
Side out.
There it is. You see Frazier just taking the angle, getting Johns off balance. Johns pops one up. Frazier puts it away. But it's that balance and that patience before Frazier makes that decision that ends up setting up the whole thing.
1-2. Side
Just
out.
deep on the two-y from Frazier.
2-1. Point.
And that pesky net cord rears its ugly head again, and much to Ben John's delight, 3-1.
3-1.
Good lead.
Side out.
Weird swing there after a very smart ball that returned that deep to drop it by Johns. Got him back in the point.
1-3. Point.
There it is. Frazier's so hard to read. Right, the ball floats a bit on the cut return from Johns. Frazier had, gosh, a couple seconds to decide. Am I cross court? Am I going down the line? He shows down the line, and Johns shows wrong. Frazier gets the winner.
Point.
And the rare dink in the cat and mouse from Johns that is up and easy put away from Frazier. And like all rec players, Ben stared a hole through his Yola paddle there.
3-3. Side out.
Okay. Love our fans that are passionate.
3-3.
See how vocal that gentleman gets throughout the day.
Oh my God, it's
Point.
unbelievable.
I think there's your answer there, Dave.
Okay, the answer is yes, and consistently. 4-3 Ben Johns here.
4-3. Side out.
Beautiful job by Frazier manipulating Johns all over the court.
Just good shot selection. He didn't try to go for anything crazy. He just had space. Johns was back. Hit a drop shot.
Side out.
Not going to see a lot of, that was a lot of emotion from Frazier there, that little double skip there. He's going to be very cool and collected, but he knew he set up an opportunity, just didn't make it.
Side out.
Frazier continues to make Johns hit balls on the run, and it's hard to execute.
3-4.
Maybe on the line. I think everyone everyone on the court, the referee is like, call.
4-4.
That is wicked.
Side
That's
out.
too good. There we hear the fan again. If you're watching this match at home and you're like, I want to improve at singles, don't just watch the impressive outcomes at the end of a point, but watch the shot selection that leads to these impressive outcomes.
That's just gorgeous from Ben Johns. He was getting tugged all over the court, but had the final reply.
Beautiful. See here the cross court into a down the line. Gosh, and Johns, he sets it up. He can do that same shot going cross court. He does it down the line. It's hard to read. He ends up winning the point.
Just really good from Dylan Frazier right there.
Underrated ability by Dylan Frazier is his lateral quickness at the kitchen line. He anticipates well, so that helps. And then he's so quick laterally, it's very difficult to pass him. And so when you do pass Dylan Frazier, give yourself a pat on the back.
Beautiful ATP. John's not happy with the net now. He loved it when the drive hit it and went there, but the best ATPs often come from a ball like this that had topspin and just rolls it way wide, and then you're serious trouble.
Side out.
Backdoor house yelled from the audible
5-5.
and full of decibels as well, Mr. Fan. 5 apiece. Good volley from Frazier there.
Set up by a great return that was deep. Caught Johns on his back foot. His drive sailed a little high, which was made for a much easier volley there by Frazier, as you mentioned.
Side out.
Johns just hit it hard enough because Frazier's like, ooh, I might be able to get back in this point here because he didn't pulverize this overhead where he's way off the court.
That's 2 points in a row that we saw a ball driven to the backhand of the opponent. Johns a second ago and just Frazier there, and they both just a cut angle cross court that set up the win.
Point.
Missed return, and it is Frazier now with the lead at 6-5.
6-5.
Johns just loves to wave that Cobra at you, like, where's this going? Rolls just so much spin for Frazier because he knows he has to make it bounce or he's dead. Couldn't get it over the net. Just tremendous point all around there, and Frazier so patient with his attacks, though, Kyle.
There you see the big forehand. Johns gets a couple back. Again, Frazier just laterally moves really, really well side to side and just takes the ball to the open space until he gets the point one.
Again, a little too much on that from Johns, and Frazier again using that quickness, able to take a ball out of the air, and that takes all the time away, especially in singles. 7-5 Frazier. And tried to go back behind him, and that was the right choice, the wrong execution.
Absolutely. I mean, it's interesting how much we're seeing these two players at the kitchen line, maybe more than most. They're so good at it, but you see it work so often as well.
Oh, the dreaded HTP. If he let that travel just literally another inch or two, he gets that around. So hits the post, doesn't get it around. Johns gets it back.
There it is. We saw that same shot a few points ago, and it's not set up with an amazing wrist flick. You're going to see it. He's just set up with a good balance, the extension of the arm, and he tilts the paddle slightly and able to bring that ball across court, which is why it just goes down, gets him a winner. There it is again. We see the exact same thing. All right, now they have some wrist flick in that shot, Dave. It's just impressive, though, even with the extended reach by Johns, just by tilting the paddle slightly to the right, the ball just ricochets off and flies the other way. We've seen that multiple times, but it's a tough shot. They're making it look so easy.
It is, because if your angle on that is off at all, you shank it or it's going way out because the paddle face is open.
Side out.
Frazier gets it back again, and a little frustration from Ben Johns here, just a little.
8-5. Side out. Five, 8.
And that's a point that Ben Johns cannot believe he lost. He was way ahead with a sitter in the middle of the court. It's this ball right here. And suddenly he's resetting.
Side out.
But gets it back quickly.
Great response.
5-8.
There's a beautiful winner. So John stuck at 5 for a while, gets to 6 here. He's within 2. See him really taking his time on the serve, really going through what he wants to do. That's just gorgeous from Dylan Frazier. He had Johns thinking that way on an earlier dink, and Johns was able to recover and then goes there with the next one.
I think he hit 3 balls down the line of Johns' backhand. I mean, unbelievable shot selection and decision-making by Dylan Frazier there.
Frazier's got the lead. Will he be able to finish? We'll find out after this. Welcome back, folks. We appreciate all the hard-working referees that are working on center and all across the tournament. Can't do it without them. The volunteers, appreciate everything the pickleball tournaments team does. They got to get here so early to get not just the pro matches going, but we got a huge 1,000-player amateur tournament going on. You get to play with the pros. Let's play pickleball.
Side out.
And that's an authoritative "I'd like to serve again right now. Thank you very much" from Ben Johns.
6-8. Point.
If you've watched Ben Johns play, that's a pattern we've seen a million times, right? Ball goes to his backhand, he drops it down the line, he approaches down the line.
7-8.
The opponent hits it to his backhand, he cross-court winners it. Beautiful shot by Johns.
And there's a beautiful forehand pass. So Johns has tied it up at 8.
You know, occasionally, Dave, as we'll see here, Johns goes with a third shot drive. When you drop it a lot, then you deviate from it, you get your opponent off balance just slightly.
Just deep on the ATP. And Johns has pulled in front. It's down 8-6, now up 9-8.
9-8.
And another beautiful forehand. And suddenly Frazier's lead is gone and a game point is on the paddle of Ben Johns.
10-8.
And Frazier will not call timeout to stop it. And the two-way stays in, and
11-8.
a sick array of passing shots to close out game 1 from Ben Johns. Wow, after the timeout, it was just one after the other, and that is the one that finishes. So Ben Johns has been pushed 3 games in a row, but it is his name that is victorious in each game. Will he keep it going in game 2? We'll see after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Dave Fleming with Kyle Kazuda. And Kyle, this match, we knew we'd see a lot of the cat and mouse, meaning both players up in the kitchen. So much different than the Ben Johns Connor Garnett match, where it was passing shots from both sides. This is really enjoyable to watch.
It's enjoyable. There's multiple ways to play singles, but what you're watching these two guys, and what they're so good at, is their shot selection consistently. It's not just what ball do I hit, drive or drop. It's also where do I hit it, right? I'm going to drive it to their backhand, their forehand. Where am I going to drop it? Their backhand, their forehand. And that's what's so fascinating about watching these two play singles.
Point.
So Johns was in an 8-6 hole, won 5 in a row, and then gets a missed return to start game number 2.
1-0. Side out.
Dylan Frazier looking up at the camera there. Hello, Dylan. Too high there. I like that he just kept coming though. He's like, I'm in trouble. I'm still coming.
1-0. Point.
And the Ben Johns forehand has gotten just a little more fine throughout this, and we saw some great two-handed passes as well.
Point.
Had a few of those today.
In that spot. Yeah, we've had a few balls either die there or bounce funky as players have looked down at the ground. We see one there from Dylan Frazier.
3-0.
And that's just wide, and Frazier can't believe it. And 5 straight at the end of game number 1, 4 straight
4-0.
to start game 2.
Point.
There's that just
Come on,
obscene
receiver.
backhand roll that Ben
5-0,
Johns
1
is
minute.
known for, but he can roll it down the line as well, so it causes all sorts of problems. And Dylan Frazier's got maybe 100 problems right now. Just in a big hole, had played so well. There's a good look at Frazier. I love that he called timeout there, Kyle.
Yeah, he had a couple tough returns, tough bounce on one, a couple short balls on the other. On the flip side, talked about shot selection. Ben Johns is noticing a couple short returns, taking advantage of those short returns with pretty big drives, and because of that, he's up 5-0 early in the second game.
And there you see again, Ben Johns smiling, just talking with
Receiver,
the
1 timeout remaining.
fans.
Server, 2 timeouts remaining.
No, it's tough. You're close to winning game 1 against Johns. It's a bit deflating even going into game 2. You have to flush that, forget
Time in.
about it, and then
5-0.
move yourself to game 2. Let's see if Dylan can respond here.
So 5-zip Johns. The answer is no, and it's
Point.
the same thing. Short return off a big, heavy serve.
It's the tricky part of singles is you don't want to miss it short, you don't want to miss it long, but if you miss it short, then you're often going to get punished for the short return.
It's a great ball from Frazier.
Side out.
So, deficit is 6.
0-6.
Nice deep breath from Frazier there. Let's see if he can turn that into some points.
Side out.
And not on that opportunity.
6-0.
Oh my.
Side out.
That inside out forehand set up literally cake.
Yeah, you make sound like
I mean, that had sprinkles. That had sprinkles. He put it in the net.
0-6.
Everybody's human, folks.
Good lead.
Point.
Great drive, 1-6. Let's see if Frazier can respond here.
1-6.
Frazier's the one
Point.
getting a couple short returns and taking advantage of them. I mean, that's singles for you. It can turn in a heartbeat. It's why you
2-6.
don't let your mind get out of it. Stay in the point.
And we replay the serves off the tape
2-6.
here on the PPA Tour, as long as it clears the kitchen.
Side
It's
out.
so good. You mentioned it a few moments ago, but you know he's going to cross court, but then do you? Because he might take it down the line. So he keeps you honest. Right? We have so much time here. He rolls it at the last second. Looks exactly the same as he would if he was going down the line.
Side
Good
out.
finish by Frazier there. So down 6, got 2, got the ball back here.
Side out. Side out.
But can't do anything with it. So back to Johns.
6-2. Point.
And again, it's the forehand that is causing most of the damage. There's been a couple two-handers that have been sharp, but it's the
7-2.
forehand. You can see Frazier using every inch to be able to return. Oh my goodness.
Point.
Frazier covers an ATP that never came out of the factory as this ball is going back the other way. That is absolutely gorgeous.
Point.
And another clean winner off the midcourt, off the bounce.
It's a similar thing we were talking about is they wait until the last second, and then they give their little flick.
And it all has to look the same, and it does for Johns, and he is up 9-2.
Side out.
We've seen Johns drive to Frazier's backhand a number of times. He handled some of them really, really well early on. In this game, we've seen a couple slight mishits. But if you're playing singles at any level, go to their backhand more. It's a less powerful reply. You'll win more points that way.
Side out.
And Frazier's thirds have betrayed him here in game number 2, and the scoreboard is reflective of that. The lack of space behind the court is also causing some of these short returns. That is a great move from Dylan Frazier right there.
Smart. He read it early. Knew Johns was dropping that ball right at the moment he was about to hit it. Jumped the kitchen line, hit the Ernie for the winner.
Yeah, just another really high third, and even though he was able to keep that going, just so far behind.
9-2.
Well, flirts a little bit there with the sideline.
He got on top of it, but it was on the left side of his body here, so you can see how he had to sort of put a little topspin on it to keep it in, or that would have floated wide. So nice paddle positioning change with the wrist there by Frazier. Again, if he watches this back, he's going to see his thirds just didn't bounce.
Yeah, much more so in the second game. He's missed more of them high in the first game. Yeah, really
nice right there. Yep. Oh no, and then a loose miss there, and that's as frustrated as you will see Dylan Frazier right there. We are at match point. I'm going to say caught the outside 1 millimeter of the line there, because Ben is not walking forward to tap paddles. So, boy, that's tight. If you can't tell, it's in. So Frazier saves a match point. Just a clinic, and the referee gets tagged there.
Johns has that backhand roll on the backhand. He also has it on the forehand, too. The forehand roll cross court.
10-2.
Referee doing his job, just staring at the line, and another match point for Johns.
Side out.
Don't see Ben off balance like that very often. That was weird.
His feet got caught up a little bit.
2-10. Point. .310.
That's a beautiful forehand, and Frazier's probably like, man, where's that been? But stranger things have happened. 'Cause that's a good return in the corner from Johns. And that's why he's the #1 player in the world there, because Frazier did everything right, and it's side out.
10-4.
Oh, and a nifty little pull his body to the left and slide it down the line from Frazier there.
Beautiful setup, too, with his footwork. He moved his feet quick, then got balanced, then he was able to hit that shot down the line. Really nice play.
Just missed from Frazier. Try number 4 for Johns to close this match out and move on.
10-4.
And Dylan Frazier says, not right now.
Ooh, great reads from both players. That was an incredible point. Good pick
You
up.
thought it was over there, and Frazier, with that lateral quickness you've been talking about, was able to get over there.
Side out.
Good shot selection. Ben, he sees Frazier running in. There's space opened cross court. So Frazier thinks he's going to go there. He doesn't. Puts him off balance. Ends up winning the point.
Too good.
Side out.
Looks like Frazier's ball was either near the line or on the line. Ben dropped it. It was so far back, Frazier recognized it.
Yeah, that right there. And then just another one where Ben's feet got a little bit wonky there on that prior point. But again, Frazier has played unbelievable. This is match point number 6 coming up. Just hadn't been able to do anything when he gets the ball back. And it is Frazier who wins another showdown. And this is what the beginning of the match, very even, back and forth. Frazier's up 8-6, and scoreboard is 10-4 here. Wow, net cord all over the place there. So, Ben Johns, will it be lucky number 7, or will we play on?
Okay,
remember that net cord I was talking about? It says, I like this matchup. I'd like some more.
I feel like those even out over the course of a lifetime.
Wow, lifetime, okay.
I'm going big picture here.
We talked macro and micro earlier. You went heavy macro, miss return, 5-10.
5-10.
That's what makes Dylan Frazier so lethal in singles. Couldn't finish that. I'm sure Ben Johns would love a new ball, the ball that's got the winning point in it. And interesting, I like this. Ben Johns calls timeout here. He's had 7 match points, so take a break, really think about, okay, I'm going to serve here. I expect the return to go here. What am I going to do with the third?
Yeah, it's easy to go and play 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. And then all of a sudden, you actually don't even remember what just happened because you're so locked into the match. And so to take a timeout like this and maybe just reset your brain. Okay, what was working before? Let me just do that on this very next point and end the match rather than maybe continue doing what's not working or what the other player's doing well, trying to stay away from. So let's see if Johns can put this match away on this next point.
So Ben Johns literally has been standing there ready to serve since he called timeout. Took a little walk over. All right, match point 8
10-5
for Ben Johns. How about serve on the middle line, forehand winner? If that's the conversation he had with me, myself, and I, it was a good one.
Yeah, great shot there by Johns. Great playing by Frazier. That's a great singles match here in the Takeya Newport.
Yeah, so Ben Johns again is pushed, was down 8-6 in game number 1, but came up with it. It really took him. That 11th point is often such a struggle, and even for the top players. So folks, if you're having problems finishing out your matches at home or in the park at the rec center, Ben Johns just needed 8 to finish, so don't feel bad. It's the same everywhere. We're going to be back with more awesome singles action. This is the Takeya Showcase.